Hello, and welcome.
Hello?
Usually when we start these deep dives, we come in with a certain velocity. We want to hit the ground running. We want to take a stack of articles, data points, research papers, and we want to just accelerate you through them.
Get right to the core of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get you to that aha moment as fast as possible. But today is going to be different.
It has to be different.
Today, we are slowing down. Deliberately. We have to match the frequency of the material we're covering.
We do.
Because the source material we have in front of us, it isn't about speed. It isn't about the hustle. It's not about cramming more information into a busy brain.
It's the exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite. We are looking at a document titled Blueprint for Subconscious Mastery. And honestly, reading it felt less like analyzing a text and more like beginning a descent.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
A descent. You know, most of the self-improvement material we look at is it's very active.
Right. Do this, do that.
It's about what you need to do, what lists you need to make, what habits you need to, force into your life. But this is about what happens when you stop doing.
When you let go.
It's about what happens when you let go.
So we have two primary documents that we're going to explore. The first is that blueprint itself. And just to give you a sense of the scale here, this is a 50,000-word protocol.
It's massive.
It is massive. It's the structural skeleton of a sleep program, and it's designed to play on a loop for 6 to 8 hours while you're unconscious.
And just pause on that for a second. 50,000 words.
Yeah.
That is the length of a short novel.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't a story. It's not a narrative you follow from a beginning to an end. It's more like code. It's a set of precise architectural instructions designed to run when the conscious mind has, left the building.
And the second document we have is titled The Subconscious Architect. This is the actual script. These are the specific words, the phrasing, the syntax that's used to induce the state the blueprint describes.
So one is the what, and the other's the how.
Perfectly put. So our mission today is to decode this. We're going to walk through this protocol phase by phase. We're going to look at the architecture of what happens to the human mind when the lights go out.
And it really is an architecture. I think that is the most important thing for you, the listener, to grasp right now. This isn't just a collection of, nice-sounding affirmations. It isn't someone whispering, "You are great," over and over again for 8 hours. It is a built environment. It starts with a foundation, then it frames the walls, then it installs the wiring, and only then, finally, does it put on the roof. It is a construction project for the mind.
So before we even step into that first phase, let's pose the big question, the fundamental one. What happens when the conscious mind shuts off?
Right.
We spend our whole lives thinking that we are our conscious thoughts. I'm the voice in my head worrying about the grocery list. I'm the voice replaying that stupid thing I said yesterday. But these sources, they argue that the conscious mind is just the gatekeeper.
It's the bouncer.
The bouncer. I like that.
Think of it like this. The conscious mind is a security guard standing at the door of a very exclusive club. And that club is your core identity, your belief system.
Okay.
The security guard's job, his only job, is to check every new idea that tries to get in. And he checks it against the VIP list of what you already believe to be true.
So if I try to tell myself, I am incredibly disciplined, but I have, say, 10 years of evidence that I'm a procrastinator.
Well, the security guard looks at his list. He sees procrastinator is on there in big, bold letters.
Right.
He looks at the new idea, disciplined, and he just says, "Sorry, you're not on the list. You don't belong here." And he throws it out.
And that's why just repeating positive thoughts to yourself in the mirror often fails.
It's because you're just shouting at the security guard, and he's shouting right back. You're creating conflict, not change.
But this protocol, this entire blueprint, it operates on a totally different premise.
Totally different.
It argues that the real work, the heavy lifting of changing who you are, it happens when the gatekeeper falls asleep.
Exactly. When you drift into sleep, into those slower brainwave states like theta, the security guard goes on break. The door is left wide open. And if you have the right script, you have the right architecture, you can walk right in and start rearranging the furniture.
So let's begin that process. Let's walk through the door. The protocol begins naturally with phase 1. The blueprint calls this the induction.
The slowing down.
And the subconscious architect, the script itself, is very, very specific about how this begins.
Okay.
It doesn't start with complex ideas. It doesn't start with success or confidence. It starts with the body. It describes a sensory experience.
It has to.
Yeah.
You cannot talk to the deep mind until the body's offline. It
Yeah.
won't listen.
The text reads something like, take a slow breath and allow your body to settle. Very simple. And then it moves immediately into giving permission. I want to read this phrase because it struck me as so important. It says, there is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to figure out.
Let's just sit with that for a moment. Nothing you need to solve.
It sounds so simple, but it's actually incredibly difficult for us to really hear that, isn't it?
It's radically difficult. I mean, evolutionarily, that is a terrifying instruction.
Right.
For 200,000 years, solving meant surviving.
Right.
If you weren't solving the problem of the predator, or the cold, or the lack of food, you died.
So our brains are just wired for it.
They're wired into this high-frequency beta state. It's a constant low-level hum of problem detection. We're always scanning. What's wrong? What's that noise? Did I forget to send that email?
That's that vibrating feeling, that feeling you get when you try to lie down and relax, but your engine is still revving.
That's it, exactly. It's a survival loop. The sympathetic nervous system is engaged. So when this protocol says, explicitly, there is nothing to solve, it isn't just a nice, comforting thought.
No.
It is a biological override command. It is asking you to manually disengage the fight-or-flight response and force a switch over to the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest mode.
And the source material makes a point to say this shift isn't instant. It mentions the transition from doing mode to receiving mode.
Receiving mode.
Yeah.
I like that phrasing. It's passive, but it's passive in an active way, if that makes any sense.
It's a state of being open.
Yes. And the text uses a beautiful image here to help the mind understand this state. It talks about waves moving across a quiet ocean.
Waves moving across a quiet ocean, and the physical instructions in the script, they mirror that same rhythm. Jaw relaxing, shoulders loosening, eyes resting deeper. It's a systematic shutdown of all the physical tension we carry around.
And notice the phrasing there. It's not a command. It's not relax your jaw.
No, it's not.
It is jaw relaxing. It's a statement of what is supposedly already happening. It's a classic hypnotic syntax.
How does that work?
It presumes the action is already taking place, which sort of tricks the brain into complying. It's like, oh, my jaw's relaxing. Okay, I guess it is then. It sidesteps the resistance.
There's another metaphor in the subconscious architect that really stood out to me in this first phase. It compares the mind in this state to a sponge.
Yes, like a sponge touching water.
It says natural absorption. And this challenges a very deep-seated idea we have in our culture. We think learning has to be hard.
A struggle.
A struggle. We think learning means studying, furrowing our brow, memorizing facts, stressing out. But a sponge doesn't try to absorb water.
It doesn't strain itself. It doesn't put in effort. It touches the water. The absorption is a property of its nature.
And the text says something that I think is the core philosophy here. It says, you don't need effort to improve. Improvement happens automatically when resistance disappears.
That's the whole game right there. Resistance is the only thing stopping us.
We're the ones holding the door shut.
Precisely. If you can just remove the resistance, the stress, the trying, the efforting, the absorption happens on its own. We're naturally learning machines. We just get in our own way.
The source also mentions drifting thoughts. It actually says, you may notice your thoughts drifting. That's perfect. I love that. Because usually when I'm trying to meditate or focus, if my mind drifts, I feel like I failed.
Right. We judge the drift.
Yeah, I get annoyed with myself. I think, oh no, I lost focus. I'm bad at this.
But this protocol reframes the drift completely. It says drifting isn't a failure, it's a sign of transition. It means the logic circuits are loosening up.
Okay.
You're moving from the rigid linear thinking of the day, where A leads to B leads to C, into the fluid associative thinking of the night. The drift is actually the bridge. You have to cross it to get to the other side.
So we cross that bridge, we drift, the body is heavy, the jaw is relaxed, and we enter what the blueprint calls phase 2, the subconscious gateway. Now, this is a significant chunk of the protocol. We're talking about 5,000 to 10,000 words devoted just to this gateway.
So this isn't a quick step.
Not at all. This is where we get into the real mechanics of bypassing that critical factor we talked about.
The bouncer.
The bouncer. The text mentions using visualization scenes, symbolic imagery, and deepening loops. So why imagery? Why not just start saying the affirmations now? Why not just say, be confident once the person is asleep?
Because the subconscious mind is primal. It's ancient. It existed long, long before language.
Right.
Language is a very new invention, relatively speaking. But imagery, sensation, emotion, that is the native language of the deep mind.
Okay, so it's speaking its language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I tell you logically you are rich, your conscious mind immediately says, let me check the bank account. It argues. But if I tell you a story, if I describe a slow walk through a golden palace where the floors are cool stone under your feet and the air smells like some expensive exotic perfume,
My brain just goes there. It doesn't argue, it just watches.
your brain watches the movie. It engages the imagination, not the logic. And while the imagination is busy watching that movie, the subconscious is absorbing the feeling of abundance. It bypasses the argument entirely.
The source actually states this as a rule. It says, metaphors bypass logic filter. That's the psychological principle at play.
That's the hack. The conscious mind is busy looking at the pretty pictures, and the subconscious is listening to the subtext.
It opens the door.
It opens the door. And once that door is open, we step into the library.
The library. This is the central, vivid image of phase 2 in the subconscious architect. It describes the mind as a quiet library with shelves stretching on endlessly.
It's a perfect metaphor for memory and identity, isn't it?
It is. And the text describes a figure, the subconscious librarian. I want to read this part because the imagery is so specific and honestly quite relaxing. It says, this librarian is reorganizing everything, automatically, effortlessly.
And what is the librarian doing? This part is crucial. It isn't just stacking books or dusting shelves.
No, it's very specific. It says, old limitations being removed, outdated beliefs archived, unnecessary doubts deleted.
Notice the order of operations there. Before we add anything new, we're clearing out the old.
It's subtraction first.
It is subtraction. We're deleting, we're archiving. And biologically, this tracks perfectly with what we know about sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Neuroscience calls it synaptic pruning. During the day, you build millions of neural connections. Some are useful, like learning a new skill, but a lot of them are just noise.
Right.
Stress, worries, random information you scrolled past. They're the weeds in the garden.
The weeds in the garden, I like that.
Exactly. And at night, specifically during deep, slow-wave sleep, the brain's glial cells actually shrink. This opens up spaces between the neurons and allows cerebrospinal fluid to wash through the brain. It physically cleanses it.
So it's literally washing away the junk.
It's washing away metabolic waste and, crucially, the weak, unnecessary connections. So the librarian isn't just a poetic idea. It's a metaphor for a real biological cleaning process. Yes, it is a physical cleaning. And the brain has to decide which pathways to keep and which to let wither away. This protocol is essentially giving instructions to that cleaning crew.
It's saying, hey, while you're in there washing things away, make sure you wash away this self-doubt.
Make sure you croon back this anxiety.
Unnecessary doubts. Deleted. It sounds so simple, like hitting a delete button on a keyboard.
Well, in the state of deep hypnosis, or the theta brainwave state that this protocol targets, it can be that simple. The emotional charge that's attached to those doubts gets detached. They just become old data. And old data can be archived.
So the shelves are being cleared, the library is quiet, the librarian is ready, and now we move to phase 3 of the blueprint, identity upgrade.
Okay, so we're the 10,000 to 15,000 word mark now. We are deep in the sleep cycle. The listener is fully under.
And the goal here is to reprogram internal self-image. And the protocol lists these specific beliefs to be installed. Things like, I am capable, I am focused, I am disciplined, I am calm.
And you have to pay very close attention to the tense being used there.
It's all present tense, I am.
I am. It's not I want to be. It's not I will be. It's definitely not I hope to become. It's I am.
Why is that distinction so important? I mean, why can't I just tell myself I want to be disciplined? It seems more realistic.
Because I want implies lack. It states a lack. If I say I want to be confident, I am telling my subconscious that I currently lack confidence. I am reinforcing the distance between me and the goal. I want is a statement of scarcity. I am is an immediate assumption of identity. It collapses the timeline. To the subconscious mind, there is no future. There's only the eternal now.
Okay.
If you say I am, the subconscious treats it as a current reality that it now needs to maintain. And this triggers a powerful psychological principle called cognitive dissonance.
Break that down for us. What is that?
The human brain hates contradiction. It craves consistency above almost all else. So if you deeply truly believe I am a disciplined person, but you are currently lying on the couch scrolling through social media, your brain creates a tension. It feels wrong. It feels physically uncomfortable to act in a way that contradicts your core identity.
So if the program manages to install I am disciplined as a core truth,
Then laziness becomes painful. Procrastination becomes uncomfortable. You don't do the work because you're forcing yourself with willpower. You do the work to resolve the inner tension. You do it to get back in alignment with who you now believe you are.
that is a completely different mechanism than willpower.
Completely different. Willpower is fighting yourself. Identity is just being yourself.
So we're rewriting that fundamental I am code. And immediately following that, the blueprint moves to phase 4, confidence coding.
This takes us up to around the 20,000 word mark. We're layering now. We built the structure of the identity, and now we are painting the walls, giving it texture.
The text mentions neural conditioning statements that are focused on physical manifestations. I found this really interesting.
Oh?
Things like eye contact, confidence, pressure composure, and calm voice authority.
So it's grounding the abstract identity into physical behaviors.
Exactly.
It's one thing to believe I am confident. It's another thing entirely to program this specific micro-habit of holding eye contact when you walk into a room.
Yeah.
It's connecting the software to the hardware.
Connect this back to the subconscious architect source for me. There was a line in there about confidence that really resonated with me.
Yes, I think I know the one. It's a natural confidence, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything.
Doesn't need to prove anything. That's it.
That is the key distinction, isn't
Okay.
it? Think about it. Insecurity is loud. Insecurity needs to be the center of attention. It needs to tell everyone how great it is. But true confidence, deep core confidence, it's quiet.
It's just assumed.
It's assumed. It's like gravity. It doesn't announce itself. It's just there, exerting its influence silently.
And that's what this protocol is trying to install, that quiet certainty.
It's the difference between wearing the costume of a king and actually being the king.
Yeah.
The king doesn't need to run around shouting, I am the king.
He just sits on the
He
throne.
just sits on the throne.
So we have the identity, we have the quiet confidence. And now the protocol shifts gears pretty significantly. We enter what we're calling phase 3 of our discussion, which covers the engine of the mind. Success, intelligence, and fear.
Right, the engine room. This is where we make the machine run faster and more efficiently.
Phase 5 of the blueprint is called the success mindset layer. We're at 20 to 25,000 words now. The program shifts from who you are to how you think.
This is all about cognitive software, upgrading the operating system.
The installations listed are things like persistence, resilience, strategic thinking, and this one really caught my eye, opportunity awareness.
Opportunity awareness. That is a fascinating inclusion
Why does that one stand out to you?
because it touches on a part of the brain called the reticular activating system, or the RAS.
Okay.
The RAS is basically a bundle of nerves at our brainstem that acts as a filter. It filters out all the unnecessary information so the important stuff gets through to your conscious mind.
It's the filter that stops us from being overwhelmed by every single sound and color and sensation in the room at once.
Precisely. But here's the trick. You tell the RAS what's important. It's why if you decide to buy a red car, you suddenly see red cars everywhere.
Right.
Did everyone just buy a red car that day? Of course not. They were always there. Your RAS just started letting them through the filter because you tagged red car as important.
So this phase of the protocol, it's telling the RAS to start looking for opportunities.
It's widening the aperture for opportunity. If you program opportunity awareness, you are telling your subconscious to constantly scan the environment for doors that are slightly ajar. You're telling it to notice connections and possibilities that other people ignore.
It's not about working harder.
No, it's about seeing what others miss.
It effectively makes you lucky. Or what looks like luck to the outside world.
There's that old saying, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This protocol is the preparation. It's designed to ensure you never walk past an open door without seeing it.
Okay, moving on to phase 6. Intelligence expansion. Now this part of the blueprint feels very ambitious. It targets things like fast learning, memory retention, and pattern recognition.
In problem solving.
I have to play devil's advocate here for a second. Can you really program fast learning while you sleep? I mean, can a looping audio track actually make me smarter?
Let's go back to that sponge metaphor from the architect text.
Okay.
You don't need effort to improve. Improvement happens automatically when resistance disappears. The premise isn't that this track is going to teach you quantum physics overnight.
Right.
The premise is that we are naturally intelligent. We are naturally fast learners. I mean, look at children. They learn languages effortlessly. They just absorb the world around them.
So what happens to us as adults? What stops us?
Fear, doubt, the narrative we tell ourselves. Oh, I'm not good at math. I have bad memory. I'm too old to learn this. This is too hard.
The blocks.
Those are the blocks.
Yeah.
Those are the walls we build around our own intelligence. It's the resistance again.
It always comes back to resistance.
It does. If this protocol works as designed, it isn't adding IQ points. It is removing the friction that slows down your natural intelligence. It's telling the subconscious that learning is safe, learning is easy, learning is natural.
And once that belief is installed, the brain just does what it was originally designed to do.
Exactly. It eats information, it processes patterns, it becomes like a supercomputer that isn't running a bunch of slow antivirus software constantly. It just runs the program.
But to really let that engine run, to really let it rev up, you have to cut the anchors. Which brings us to phase 7, the fear removal protocol.
The excision phase.
This is 30 to 35,000 words into the night. We're in deep, deep sleep now, and the text lists what's being removed. Self-doubt, hesitation, overthinking, anxiety loops.
I want you to notice the placement of this phase, where it comes in the sequence.
It's in the middle, or I guess past the middle.
Right. You've built the new identity, you've revved up the intelligence, you've installed the success mindset. Now, and only now, do you cut the weights.
Why wait until this point? Why not do this first? Get rid of the fear and then build on top of that.
Because removing fear is delicate work. It's like psychic surgery. If you take away fear without having a strong, pre-built structure of confidence and identity to replace it, you might just leave a void. You need the new self to be ready to take the wheel before you kick the fearful self out of the driver's seat.
But fear is chemical, isn't it? I mean, it's the amygdala firing. You can't just talk fear away.
In a conscious state, usually no. But this protocol uses techniques that are rooted in dissociation. It asks you to view the fear from a distance as an object. And the subconscious architect uses that imagery of seeds growing roots underground.
Yes, I remember that. Just like seeds growing roots underground before anything appears above the surface.
That applies here too. The removal of fear happens silently, in the dark. You don't feel it happening. It's not some dramatic battle. The protocol is gently detaching the emotional alarm bells from your old memories. It's soothing the amygdala, not fighting it.
So you wake up one day and you realize you didn't hesitate before making that phone call.
That's the sign. It's the silence where the noise used to be. You realize that the little voice that usually says, "Are you sure? What if you fail?" It just wasn't there. You acted before the fear even had a chance to speak.
And that leads perfectly, almost inevitably, into the very next phase. If you remove the hesitation, what replaces it? Action. Phase 8. Discipline automation.
We are at 35 to 40,000 words now. We're heading toward the morning hours, but we're still deep in the programming.
And the goal here is action instinct.
Instinct. That is the key word, not willpower. Instinct.
The list of installations includes consistency drive, focus stamina, and delayed gratification.
Usually when we talk about discipline, we think of it as a fight, a struggle. We think of it as willpower. I have to force myself to go to the gym. I have to force myself to write that report.
It's exhausting. It feels like lifting a heavy weight over and over again.
It is metabolically expensive. Willpower lives in the prefrontal cortex, the newest, most fragile, most energy-hungry part of the brain. It's battery and it runs out. By 4 p.m., your willpower is usually dead.
Right.
But automation, instinct, that lives in a much older, more powerful part of the brain, the basal ganglia.
The basal ganglia.
The habit center. You don't need willpower to brush your teeth. You don't need willpower to tie your shoes. You don't sit there and negotiate with yourself about whether to check your phone when it buzzes.
You just do it.
You just do it. It is automated.
So this phase is trying to move hard work from that fragile prefrontal cortex into the ironclad basal ganglia.
Precisely. It's rewriting the habit books in the library we talked about. It's making the hard thing the default thing. Action instinct means that when you see a task that needs doing, your immediate knee-jerk reaction is to do it, not to think about it, not to dread it, to do it.
It completely bypasses the negotiation.
Exactly. We spend so much energy negotiating with ourselves. Should I do it now? Maybe later. I'm tired. I'll do it after I get a snack. That negotiation is the drain. That's what makes us so tired. If you automate the action, you save all that energy for the work itself.
Consistency drive. It really does sound like a machine part.
Well, we are biological machines, in a way. We have an operating system. And this document is arguing that we can run a major update.
So we're automated, we're disciplined. And now the protocol looks forward, phase 9, future self-integration.
The visualization phase. We're at 40 to 45,000 words.
The content here involves future success scenes, life scenarios, achievement moments.
This is the simulation.
Just ask yourself, the listener, to imagine this for a second. You're asleep. Your body is paralyzed in REM sleep. But your brain is running a vivid, high-definition movie of you succeeding over and over.
And here's the really powerful science behind it. The brain struggles to tell the difference between a vivid visualization and a real memory.
Okay.
When you visualize something deeply, when you see the colors, feel the textures, hear the sounds, smell the smells, you are firing the exact same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it.
So you're creating memories of things that haven't actually happened yet.
We call them pre-memories. You loop these scenes for hours. Scenes of you signing the big deal, scenes of you crossing the finish line, scenes of you laughing with your family in your dream house. Your subconscious begins to accept them as normal. It accepts them as part of your history, part of your identity.
And once it accepts them as normal,
it works to maintain that normality. It steers you toward that reality because to the subconscious it feels familiar. Success becomes a place you have already been.
It's like deja vu for the future.
That's a great way to put it. You walk into that big meeting and you don't feel nervous. You feel, oh, I've been here before. I know how this goes. I win. And that quiet confidence creates the reality.
That's powerful stuff. And finally, we reach the end of the line. The sun is coming up. Phase 10, deep reinforcement loop.
The final 5,000 words. This is the seal. This locks it all in.
The purpose is stated as to make program permanent. And the techniques include repeating embedded affirmations, subconscious triggers, and identity locks.
The lock. You want to ensure that when the alarm goes off and the conscious mind wakes up with all its stress and coffee and emails, the new programming doesn't just evaporate like a dream.
How does a trigger work in this context? What does that mean?
It connects the new program to a common daily event, an anchor. For example, the script might say, every time you take a sip of water, you feel this deep calmness return.
Okay.
Or every time you touch a door handle, you feel your confidence rise.
So it anchors the work you did at night to the world you live in during the day.
It weaves the two worlds together, so you aren't just a different person when you sleep. You carry the library with you. You carry the discipline with you.
We have traveled through the entire architecture, from the slow waves of the induction, past the librarian, through the identity upgrades, the fear removal, the automation, all the way to the lock.
It's a comprehensive journey. It's a total rebuild from the foundation up.
I want to bring us back now to the end of the subconscious architect script, to the awakening.
The final words.
The script ends with this: you are safe, you are calm, you are improving, even now, especially now.
Especially now.
That phrase, it gets me every time I read it, especially now. It implies that the improvement isn't stopping just because the audio track ends.
It implies that the momentum has been generated. The wheel is turning now. You can take your hand off it and it will keep spinning. The subconscious doesn't stop working just because you opened your eyes. It's running the new code in the background, 24/7.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, how do we synthesize all of this? What's the core takeaway for the listener who is maybe a bit skeptical, but also intrigued?
For me, the most powerful and radical idea here is the rejection of force. We live in a world that worships the grind, that worships hustle. We think change requires suffering. We think if we aren't hurting, we aren't growing.
No pain, no gain. That's the motto, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But these sources argue for a completely different physics of the mind. They argue that real, lasting change requires softening. It requires getting out of your own way. It requires trusting that subconscious librarian to organize the books if you just give her the quiet in the dark to do the work.
It's about trust then, trusting your own mind.
It's trusting that you are designed to grow, that you don't have to force a seed to become a tree. You just have to remove the rocks from the soil and give it water. The tree already knows what to do. Your mind already knows what to do.
The text says change is already happening, especially if you don't notice it yet.
That's the faith you have to have in the process.
I want to leave you, the listener, with a thought, a final provocation to carry with you into your night. We talked about the mind as a library. We talked about how your subconscious is constantly archiving old beliefs and writing new ones.
The library never closes.
The library never closes. So, if your mind is a library that is constantly being written, what books are you leaving open on the desk tonight?
Are they books of worry, books of resentment? Are they books of what went wrong today?
Or are they books of possibility?
The librarian is waiting for your instructions. Choose your reading material wisely.